What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell you do shit. Hey man, we are lit. Get that shit, man. Turn. Well, baby, that your hood outside. Big grip in it. Gang, your hood outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia deal thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. These days, you're going to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down. I'll step back. Never let somebody tell you are boss. Don't put yourself in the position of alone. Stay humble. It's on a revolution. On the movement. Keep Yahweh first. Coming to the black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. It's the outshire. Alright. Take. Motherfucker, that you're hitting outside. Big grip in it. Gang, you're hitting outside shit, man. Alright, gang. Yeah, now y'all know we've been having a pandemic. A pandemic of the fake. Pandemic of the snitches. And the pandemic of the LGBT community, gang. It's just one of the main pandemics that we have in the end times, gang. So we got Charleston White, Crip. You know, everybody like, you remind me of Charleston White, bitch. I been talking like this. I don't know. Charleston White to me popped out of nowhere. However it goes, it is what it is. You know, I will react to people. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. So Charleston White, man, he went online, man. You know, he been saying he was a snitch. But you know, Charleston White is very calculated what he be saying. He'll say he a snitch one day and not a snitch the next day. He this and that. You know what I'm saying? So he played both lines, basically. So a video came out. This like bomb in 4K, nigga. Charleston White was online. Federal stand. 4K. With the judge, the people, everything. He locked a couple of niggas up, man, over this unalivin of this white dude. You know what I'm saying? As it went down, and Charleston White video came all out. So we have the video. I hope y'all react to the video. Give me your best opinion down below, and let's get into it. Alright, man, so we gonna talk about Charleston White. You did, Crip, about I guess when this nigga snitched, man. Hey man, say man, it doesn't sound believable. I ain't gonna crap. 16-year-old Charleston White testifies again, man. This shit crazy.
Authentic. And today, oh boy, we're diving into the world of Charleston White. The man, the myth, the self-proclaimed snitch king who somehow turned ratting out your friends into a profitable brand. Let's talk about this leaked video that's got everyone clutching their pearls or popcorn.
Right? So for those of you who've been living under a Wi-Fi blocking rock, Charleston White is back in the headlines because a video from his teenage years just surfaced. He's seen testifying against his friend and co-defendant Doolittle.
Crazy.
And the internet, predictably, is losing its collective mind.
In the gun, out the backseat of the car.
When 16-year-old Charleston White took the stand and testified against his friend, Antoine Doolittle, who sat just a few feet from him and listened intently.
He pulled the hammer back on the gun.
And then what happened?
Nigga snitched on Dr.
Doolittle is accused of gunning down 34-year-old Michael Levy of Irving. Levy attempted to stop Doolittle, White, and two other teenagers accused of shoplifting 3 sports jackets and a baseball cap from the Arlington Mall in September of 1991. Witnesses say Levy pounded on their windshield until the teens threw the jackets out the car window. Then Doolittle supposedly shot him in the back as Levy walked away. White repeated the conversation he says he had with Doolittle after the shooting.
Damn, that's tough.
What did he do? Levy had been married 4 days
nigga
when he was
snitching.
shot.
48K,
I
bitch.
always had my dreams of my
Y'all not even
Prince
looking at the
Charming.
stars with the telescope.
I found
And then they got that nigga in
and it's hard to
3 million
believe that I
4K,
did.
bitch.
And I believe in fairy tales because he
So they
made my
got the
dreams
same type
come
of
true.
forehead.
And they took that away. White will be testifying against all 3 of his buddies in exchange for a maximum sentence of 12 years. A juvenile judge reduced the charge from capital murder to murder against Doolittle, so the teenager faces from 5 years to life in prison if he's found guilty.
What's going on?
Yeah, people were screaming, gotcha, like they've just cracked the Da Vinci Code. But here's the kicker. Charleston's been openly embracing his snitching past for years. Years. Like this is his whole thing.
Exactly. It's like trying to cancel a baker for making bread. This video doesn't expose him. It validates his brand. He's probably sitting at home right now sipping tea and thinking, thank you for the free marketing.
Oh, totally. Charleston's whole persona is built around glorifying snitching. He's basically the Beyonce of informants. And this video just adds another hit single to his snitching discography. I've been doing this since I was 16, he'll probably say.
But here's where it gets spicier. With this video resurfacing, people are starting to throw around the industry plant allegation. They're saying he's not just a controversial figure. He's a strategically placed provocateur meant to stir up chaos and keep us glued to our screens.
You think so? Let's get into the nitty-gritty,
but let's talk about that for a second. How does a guy like Charleston, who openly antagonizes gangs, street culture, and beloved public figures, still have a platform? Like, how has he not
they
been
deplatformed? They would have been got rid of a nigga like on some,
right?
some
It's wild. Most people with a fraction of his controversy would have been wiped off the internet faster than you can say cancel. But Charleston, he's out here thriving. The algorithm loves him like peanut butter loves jelly.
And that's where the industry plant theory comes in. People are saying he's controlled opposition. You know, like someone placed here to create division and distract us. They point to his immunity from deplatforming, his meteoric rise, and his ability to stay relevant through every scandal.
Honestly, if he is an industry plant, whoever planted him deserves a raise. He's got everyone talking, debating, and engaging. It's like he's mastered the game of internet trolling and turned it into a full-fledged career.
And let's not forget, the culture around snitching is changing too. Look at Lil Woody in the Young Thug Rico case. A leaked video of him cooperating with law enforcement went viral. And instead of being completely ostracized, he became a meme. Like, snitching scandals are just entertainment now.
Exactly. Charleston understands that better than anyone. He knows the internet doesn't really care about morals or loyalty. It cares about content, and he's the king of feeding the outreach machine.
So, what's next for Charleston? Is this video going to take him down? Spoiler alert, probably not. If anything, it's just going to make him more infamous. His brand is literally built to thrive on chaos.
Yup, the man is like a cockroach in the apocalypse. He's not going anywhere. Love him or hate him, you've got to admit, he knows how to play the game.
And on that note, let's toss it to our listeners. What do you think? Is Charleston White an industry plant? A genius marketer?
I don't know, you know what I'm saying? The way the internet made these days, you can't believe half the shit you know or see on this bitch. This shit is so fucked up these days, nigga. We in some shit. Shit getting crazy. Hey, shout out to Keeping It G News, man. You know what I'm saying? I just seen this video pop up and hey, it sounded good. So hey, shout out to Keep It G News. Let's get turned up in this bitch. This shit wild, man. Let's see what the fuck going on.
I used to go down to Ain't Beating house to the south side and go to Stop 6. I used to see that shit from a distance. But nigga, when I got in that juvenile system, and started seeing Lil Rank and Seth Ed, nigga, and Darryl Dixon and Dwight Evans, started seeing them niggas, man. Shit, the niggas who started Lil Robert and them, started seeing them, they was a little older. So nigga, I got to see it up close and personal. So when I went down there with all them child killers, and I saw that gangbanging shit, nigga, it was everything I was looking for, a nigga coming from a single parent home with just mama and not seeing no man. I wanted to be accepted. Nigga, I've been prior for this lane them, nigga, and I wrote mama a letter, nigga. They called me C-Nut. Nigga, I'm blue back home, the little pimp nigga. And now I transformed to C-Nut. Man, I went trip crazy. Now I got an identity, nigga. I ain't never had no identity.
So what we're about to get into right now is the actual detective's testimony about Charleston White taking them to get the gun.
Excuse me, correction. Tell him he didn't take him anywhere. He was in the police car. And he took the detective, the patrol car that arrested him. And Antoine Doolittle had them in the car when him and Detective Lanier came. He's a juvenile detective. He knew them prior to this. So what he did, he went to Charleston White. And Charleston White told him to go back to the apartment that the police arrested it in, and that the gun was on the roof.
Going into trial, you have a big witness list of all those that are coming to testify against you. And he told me that he was surprised that Charleston White was coming to get him. And once again, we have to also look at the fact that Charleston White, as you previously heard, say, we killed a white man. No, Charleston White killed 2-3 black kids' lives by not riding the beef on his case.
Yes,
and we feel that this is an injustice and that this young man's civil rights were violated, and we have to make a choice between the voice of reason or the voice of treason. Mitigating circumstances could also hinder him. So his testimonies and what he's been saying, these type of things add on to what they would call, what is it, mitigating circumstances?
Charleston White testifies in court that he tells you that he gave Antoine the gun and told him to shoot it. And they laughed about it on the way leaving. His testimony in court, it says that
damn, these niggas on that nigga ass. They remember this day like he was yesterday. You know, it's like nigga have vendetta.
And Antoine shot Michael Levy.
Nigga, wait to get this shit the fuck out.
They asked him, why you shoot him? He said, he'll know better
they
next
talk about
time.
this every damn day.
That's his testimony in court. Contradictory what he says on podcasts. That he was the brains of he took everybody to do everything. So why didn't you get time for being the head of the crime?
Yo, what's up, people? We is back.
That shit wild, man.
And they we gotta address Charleston White one more time. Yeah, that's my problem. This might be the last time I speak on this, but it's worth the conversation because we ain't letting you change the narrative. Not Sean Cott. Because it ain't really a narrative. We not ready to allow you to separate fact from fiction. You get me? Because a lot of people is running around with this narrative that Charleston White been said that he did that.
He has said that shit.
And in this video, I'm going to show you what Charleston White said versus what Charleston White did.
Some of them say he ain't gonna snitch. Some of them he do say he gonna snitch like a motherfucker.
One key factor in this whole situation that I think if he'd have said this in the beginning, people would have looked at him very, very different.
But still fucked up. The whole video came out. That's fucked up.
Fandom is a motherfucker. Fandom and how people view people because they like them, they tend to disregard facts or overlook what you want to call it, certain qualities of these people. Charleston White is a slime ball, yo. That's what it is, man.
He trying to get by. He trying to get a dog by any chance.
He started at a very young age, untrustworthy, not a person I would want in my circle or even around me.
Damn.
He's 20 feet, because he's a danger. He's a threat.
Take anybody out,
associate with him, because if it ever come a time when it's me or you, even if he's the one that participated in the whole situation, it's gonna be you. And I can't rock like that. I ain't never rock like that.
You trying to look at the survival rate, huh?
If we do it together, we go down together. Now, some people might say, well, that's crazy. You know, that's a losing formula. I call it integrity. I call it, if you participate in something, stand on it. And that's how I run my platform. That's how I evaluate situations with Meech, with Rilo, with anybody you want to mention, with Dirk, when he wasn't taking care of his kids. If you're going to talk about it, stand on it.
That's a fact.
You can't be a Dr. Umar Johnson and Black Power this, and then we find out years later you ain't taking care of your motherfucking kids. I don't give a fuck what the reason is. But Sean Cotton,
man, sometimes this shit, how life goes, man, they gotta take care of how they take care of.
Sean Cotton is the one that I think showed Charleston White the game, even though I think he was being groomed early on. So you would expect Sean Cotton to try to come to Charleston White's defense, and Sean Cotton earlier posted a video saying that Charleston White been told us what happened.
So once they got Dwayne Jackson told, Antoine Jenkins told, by the time they get me, what the fuck I'm gonna stand on the cold for? Nigga, hell no, my mama had money. Shit, I'm gonna tell it like a motherfucker. Yeah, he did. I ain't shoot that motherfucking man. I was trying to go home anyway. Fuck you talking about. I wasn't a criminal at 14. Wasn't nowhere in the world. I didn't know nothing about criminal law. I had never been in the streets. Nigga, I was still sleeping in the bed with my mama at 14 years old.
At 14?
Nigga, I was like in Howard the Duck, nigga, Weird Science. Nigga, I was watching different world. Nigga, I wasn't no motherfucking criminal to know not to tell the police nothing. I was always told to tell the truth will set you free.
Boy, tell your truth, get your ass clapped.
From a good home, was never in the streets. He's supposed to know not to tell the police nothing. How the fuck I'm supposed to know that? How the fuck at 13 years old, why I'm supposed to know you don't tell the police nothing? My mama always told me you tell the motherfuckers the truth. Who shot that man, baby? He did it, mama, but you don't tell the fuck he did it.
Now that video, y'all, you hear Charles White say we all gave statements. We was young. I ain't never been
that shit wild. Nah, I ain't gonna stay like that.
These is his words, not mine.
Me no nothing.
He was a 14-year-old, totally unaware of the situations that was at hand. And I understand that.
No.
You know, I speak about that a lot. We got these young kids that don't think about consequences. And a lot of people don't even like to acknowledge that when it comes down to these kids in the streets, but for some reason they're giving Charleston White a pass. For some reason people understand it when it comes from Charleston White, or at least for his situation. But every day on this channel, we talk about these young kids crashing out and how the system gives them 30, 40, 50 years in prison for situations
for some dumb shit.
For decisions that they made as juveniles when their brain wasn't fully functioning, wasn't fully developed. And I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
So in this video, yo, we're going to screen free Antoine Doolittle, yo, because I think Antoine Doolittle needs to be free. But Charleston White left out the most important part of this situation. And that is not the only time he even explained it. You know, Charleston White has explained his getting arrested as a juvenile numerous times. He said he was 14. But when he got on that stand, he never said he was 16. That is a huge difference between 14 and 16. When you
16, like you got some chance to be in the street
like
a little bit because you're in high school by that time.
To mention the most important part. And early on, Charleston White did an interview with Real Tune TV, and he went into more detail. And just, what y'all think he left out of this interview?
They was 15, 16, 17. I was 14. The newspaper described me as the smallest of the bunch, but the brains out of the bunch.
Pinky in the brain hitter.
The one who actually pulled the trigger, he had already been to Gainesville State School, TYC. He got 75 years. Capital murder. He took it to trial. My other partner, DJ, he was a square kid, man, good kid. Really had never done nothing. We used his car to commit the crime. Now, I'm a 14-year-old kid, homie. I come up with a plan. I plan the whole crime, right? So afterward, the plan is not to kill nobody. The plan ain't to go there and kill nobody, man. The plan is just to go there and get the jackets. So when this happened, boom, man, what? Well, nigga, I'm the brains of the bunch, right? Okay, nigga, this what we gonna do. We gonna call and report the car stolen. Well, you go call and report the car stolen, they're gonna make the police come right to you, nigga. So I said, we gonna call and report the car stolen. We was beefing with some niggas out of Dalwood at that time, right? So I said, Grand Prairie? Yeah. We were getting into it with these guys out of Grand Prairie. I ain't gonna say their names. So, for me to be 14 years old, man, to be able to think of this, right? Right. So call and report your car stolen. Give the description of these niggas we getting into it with, right? Give him such and such name, cause he fit my body.
So he used a little bit of other stuff.
Such name, cause he fit such and such side. So I gave them names to fit all of our sizes, so it'll fit the description of whomever that may have seen it, right? Unbeknownst to us, there was a girl, man, who went to school with us, went to junior high with us. And she was out sick that day with her mom, and they had stopped by the mall, and they saw what happened. And so that's how they was able to identify us. Right. They went to the school, got the yearbooks, got our pictures, and went on a manhunt, right? So by me telling him to call the police, he did that. So he was the first one to get arrested. Good kid. Because he called the laws. Yeah. He was a good kid. Told him where we were. Had never been in no trouble. He was working at Red Lobster. Got out on bond a few months after being certified as an adult, moved to Oklahoma somewhere, man, and I think they say he was hustling, was running from the police and died in a high-speed chase. So he never got to face that sentence. So the actual shooter was 16. He was sentenced to 75 years. The 17-year-old who was the oldest, he got 99 years just because he was the oldest. Came back on appeal and got 25.
So y'all, this is a pattern at this point. This is intentional at this point.
He doing that on purpose.
Every time Charleston White talks about this situation, he talks about we all gave statements. That's true indeed. Well, I don't know how true that is, because if they all gave statements, how Charleston White the only one get a deal. Matter of fact, in this video, I'm going to show you what he said is the reason he the only one that got a deal, or he the only one that got a break.
So he the only one got a deal.
But he fails to mention what really happened. So Melvin Farmer and Atula Marv, who was on this early on, I believe them when they said it 2 years ago, just did an interview with Can Capone. So you heard what Charleston White said happened. You heard his series of events. Now listen to Melvin Farmer and Atula Marv, and they're going to tell you what really happened.
I'd like to get into a little bit of his testimony, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what that's where we're going to go to next. This is a direct testimony of Charleston White from when he testified in 1993 from the crime that occurred in 1991.
Yes.
So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's, long as hell. But I'm going to read, just read like the basic, most important parts that I believe Ayatollah Marv here has highlighted. And, so one of the first, so I'll just kind of go through it little by little. Question: did you go to Pueblo Creek Apartments to see Antoine Doolittle? Yes, ma'am. Do you see the person in the courtroom today that you know as Antoine Doolittle? Yes, ma'am. Would you point him out and an article of clothing he is wearing? Answer: black suit, white shirt, and gray tie. Question: is that him on the end of the table? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question: Charleston, what did you call Antoine Doolittle? What was your name for him? Answer: Twan. Question: Twan? Answer: yes, ma'am. Okay, and the question is, okay, did you ever refer to him as Antoine? Answer: every once in a while. Okay. So this is the part where they kind of talk about where they're getting into stealing stuff, or where they're planning on stealing stuff. Question: all right, and now you were going to get these pants at Dillard's. Answer: just go try them on and just run out. Okay.
So what did
you have any money that you were going to use to pay for them? Answer: I didn't, but they did. Question: excuse me. Answer: they had money, but I didn't. Question: okay. Were you planning to use that money for the pants? Answer: no, ma'am. Question: so you were planning to steal them? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question: and did anybody ever talk about putting them on under their clothes? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question: whose idea was that? Answer: Big Twan's. Question: so after you talk about the clothes and going to Dillard's and going to a mall far away, did you ever start talking about going to any mall that was closer? Answer: yes, ma'am. Okay. Question: Charleston, whose idea was it to take a gun with you to the...
So they asked him all this question in the police station.
Answer: Antoine Doolittle's idea.
Damn!
Question: Antoine Doolittle's? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question:
he snitching on Dr.
somebody
Doolittle.
get a gun to take with you? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question: and why did Antoine want to take a gun? Answer: just in case we have some problems on the way, like got stopped trying to get the jackets. Question: okay, and was that gun placed in the car, in DJ's car? Answer: yes, ma'am. Question: and who placed it in the car? Answer: well, DJ brought it in the car. Question: okay, and where was it put? Answer: it was put in the back seat in between me and Big Twan. So you and Big Twan, question, so you and Big Twan were sitting in the back seat? Answer: yes.
See, the contradictory statements were prior to this conversation earlier. we had discussed, and Mar played a tape to where on Vlad he said he gave the young man the gun. That's not, I mean, he said that he basically instructed everybody and everything, but once again, his testimony is contradictory to what he said in court. In this case, in instant offense, he's saying that somebody else brought the gun, but when he tells the public story, he's the one that took the gun. So there go a contradictory, and this is what we're trying to get at in our search while we're fact-finding.
Right, in the public story, he makes himself seem like he was much more
superhero
involved
than what he was.
Right. Were you
so
aware
he's trying to say he took the gun from them, but then he's saying
question.
He the one who
what were you
brought
all
the gun.
doing as you were running? Answer, just running. Question, were you saying anything? Answer, no ma'am. Question, did you run out the same way you came in or in a different way? Answer, ran out the same way we came in. Question, okay. Did he keep on following you? Answer, yes ma'am. Question, where did you go when you ran? Answer, we ran outside the mall, and little Twan, he was just pulling up, and we ran straight to the car. Question, is this the same vehicle that you talked about earlier? Question, answer, yes ma'am. Question, where did you go when you saw the car? Answer, I got in the passenger side. Question, where did DJ go? Answer, he got in the front seat of the passenger side. Question, did you get in the back seat? Answer, yes ma'am. Question, where did Big Twan go? Answer, he had dropped the jacket, so he ran around the car and picked the jacket up, and he got in on the driver's side of the car into the back seat. Question, when you got up to the car, where was little Twan? He was in the driver's seat. Okay.
Claimed that before this he had a shooting and he had a stolen car, and none of that's in evidence or in court records. He doesn't have any felonies. That's why he's able to possess a gun and why he's on the witness protection program.
Yo, I told y'all way before I seen any of these interviews who Charleston White is. Charleston White always wanted to be down. Yo, you don't get a person that starts off the way he starts off, then change like that.
Yeah.
It's not normal. It's not typical. It's strange for a person who was so gung-ho about hip-hop and how detrimental it was to the community, to all of a sudden now he's the fucking definition of hip-hop. He looked just like the average rapper.
Yeah, he does.
Talk like him, walk like him, live like him. But that's what he always wanted to be. Charleston White is a wannabe.
Yeah.
That's how he got himself in this situation, trying to be something that he ain't, and he's still trying to be something that he ain't. Even that, almost 50 years old.
Damn, yeah.
And it's amazing to me how so many people is co-signing this from a
it's hard trying to be
grown-ass
something
man
like that over
acting
50
like a
years. I
teenager.
ain't gonna care.
He's still acting like he's 14 or 16 when he took that stand. And then when you talk about him taking a stand,
that shit crazy.
It's not about the streets. People gotta understand that. Yo, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I got one of my friends 99 years in prison for a crime we all participated in. But when Charleston White speaks about this, because he spoke about why he got, well, he think that he got this favor. But he never mentioned that he testified.
So when the judge and the courts and the DAs look out there, they don't have a lot of mercy on our black brothers that come out of those conditions. When they look out there at my mother, they see I had been a troubled kid. But my mom worked at General Motors. She never condoned the wrong. She never cussed out the people. She was always the Coretta Scott King, upstanding woman. So the courts would have favor, a little bit more mercy on those type of children. So
he always dressed like this. He just
I learned that as an early age.
No, he dressed like that.
As a black boy, man,
yeah,
getting in trouble. I've been getting in trouble with the law ever since 1989. Up until now, and I'm 42. So I saw that early, man. So they got trouble.
Maybe just trying to get his story out, man.
I was sent off into the Texas Youth Commission, which is a state school called Getting State Home and School.
So you let Charleston White tell it, he say, well, the system recognized families, and I do agree with that. But that's not why you went to the juvenile and they went to the adult system. No, that ain't why. Charleston White went to the juvenile system because Charleston White testified on those two brothers, and Antoine Doolittle needs some type of justice, man, because this is ridiculous. And I agree with Melvin Farmer. This same thing came up in the O-Block trial where you had FBG Butter and Trenches News going around doing interviews. I think Charleston White is a worse witness than them. But they was on these platforms giving different accounts of things that they testified to. yo, that is a reason that Antoine Doolittle needs to be home.
Yeah, I mean, y'all went on the same mission and some bullshit happened.
And if you testify to something, you got to get on these interviews and say the same thing, because if you don't, that is a conflict of interest. Which one, which one is the truth? Yeah. Was it really true that you participated and you set the whole thing up? You was the brains of the operation? Or was it the truth that I was just a kid, I didn't know what I was doing, and, I just wanted to be down? And what's going on? Because when you testify to, it's not the same things that he's saying on these interviews. For that reason, you got a kid that committed a crime at 15 years old, now damn near 50, still in prison because of Charleston White and his inability to accept accountability for the things that he participated in. And I don't respect it, and I don't respect nobody else who respects it, because that's clownish.
It is clownish.
And as people, we supposed to carry ourselves with some level of dignity. And if you file with Charleston White and sit back and say, well, he already said he was the he ain't never said he testified on his friends. And the reason he didn't say it because he knows
that's kind of wild.
People would have looked at him different. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments.
I mean, that's Charleston White life. At the end of the day, he gotta sleep with that. All right, gang. So we got Charleston White on Say Cheese. He finna reveal why he testified on his friend as a little kid. It's wild.
Well, I just seen that, and I just want to say, I remember, I saw an interview on No Jumper that Brick Baby said when I went to jail that it was the game guards. The game guard finally got me from all that talking, dissing street gang members. Brick Baby, if you ever see this interview, look like the Crip guard got y'all. And they got your ass in a mean headlock. The feds. Yeah. This separates the men from the boys right up. Yeah. This separates the men from the boys. I just had some pending state charges. And like the old told me, nigga, you can buy state charges all day long. They just want some money out your ass. But when the feds come get you, they don't want no money. They want your ass or some information. You can one or the other, but they want something. So they don't want no money. They got all the money in the world. They make money. So the feds want your ass or some information.
Speaking of the feds, man, I woke up 3 days ago. I seen a video, never seen before video. I think you were 16 in this footage.
I like it. They get straight to the point.
It looked like somebody did their homework, but this was never seen before in the public, man.
You got the computer.
I don't think nobody did their homework. Somebody within the government system released that.
Gotta be.
Because I nanny boo-boo the city after I beat them charges. So not only did I nanny boo-boo the city, I talked about some dirty police officers, dropped their names, and brought up the Dacian Steptoe and the officer Garrett Holsich right after I beat my charges. So nigga, I shook my dick at the city. So this is old news coverage. So I was locked. This is old news coverage of '93. I was a juvenile at the time, so my face was blurred. They couldn't show my face back then. So there's no way an average citizen on the internet done dug this deep to get an archive of a news footage, nigga, from 1993, 92. Nah, that was an inside release.
But do you consider that snitching on your friends, though?
For one, them wasn't my friends. You gotta think, homie. This is what me and the kids set out on.
There's no relation.
How you gonna put street rules down on at 14, 15, 16?
No relations. Glass.
How? I'm not a street kid. I'm not a criminal. I'm a kid who was raised to tell the truth. When my mama come in and say, son, what happened?
But not
Mama,
to 12.
I got to pay for a lawyer. I got two lawyers, Carl Mallory and Louis Stearns. Louis Stearns became Judge Stearns, Judge Louis Stearns. But nigga, I had two paid for lawyers. Nigga, my mama is a well-to-do mama. I'm just playing, I ain't playing. I'm an adolescent going through an adolescent stage of rebelliousness. Ain't no street. Hell yeah, I'm gonna tell on you.
That's
I've been
crazy.
telling since I was a little bitty boy. I've been telling all my life. Mama, Kevin did, nigga, I've been telling. So all of a sudden, I ain't gonna tell. And my mama crying, saying, son, and then him. I met them in the 8th grade. I didn't go to elementary with them. These project kids. And this is what I want to show people. The well-to-do kids have no loyalty to the project kids. Hell yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. My lawyer say, hey, who shot him? He's the worst candidate. He been in and out of juvenile system. I'm a good kid. Hell yeah, I'm gonna play good boy. There's no honor amongst thieves.
That's fact.
So hell yeah, no, that ain't snitching. In from the jump, I said, hell yeah, I told nigga, my mama came in to who he did it, mama. And my lawyer and them say, this is what we going with. That's how I became famous on the internet. Remember the Pop Hunter situation, me and your first interview? That's how, so now we back to the beginning of how Charleston White got started. Gilly the kid and his son with that Pop Hunter kid because same situation. That's what made me come forward. Nigga, how we go, so how we gonna trick the kids into street shit?
But sometimes the kids gotta be warriors, you know what I'm saying? If we got kids by the people who don't know what to do, when times get rough, then what? We looking like fools.
Me and my cousin snuck out the house. And we
trying to depend on everybody else to help us out. What the fuck we gonna do when it's time to get down?
Get arrested and go to
we
juvenile.
Ain't got shit.
I get away. Do you know what my mama said the first thing she did when she went down to pick my cousin up from juvenile? I know Charleston was with y'all. Where he at? My brother committed a murder. My mama made him go turn himself in. Homie, I come from an honorable, upstanding family. I don't have no crooked mama. Son, you tell these people the truth. So, nigga, nah, I wasn't raised with street shit. I was raised to tell.
Is that what made you so passionate about the Pop Hunter situation?
Yeah, because how you gonna tell a kid to go against his mama? Because of some street codes who everybody break. Everybody break these codes. Everybody break these codes. Homie, when we got arrested, homie, all these niggas older than me. There was a news article in 2004, 2005 by Bob Ray Sanders in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I never got to read none of the articles back in the 90s. But homie, we was on the front page paper of every news station. The news media described me as being the youngest, the smallest, but the brains out of the bunch. Homie, all these niggas older than me. I'm just bullshitting. I ran away from home because my mama had just had my little sister. So nigga, I'm mad because I ain't the baby no more. And I'm being rebellious. My mama just had a new baby. I'm 13 going on 14. It's the summer going from 8th grade to... I'm just being rebellious. I ain't no criminal. Been playing the flute in the band. I go on family vacations. Nigga, we eat dinner at the table. We don't eat dinner in our room. I got my own bedroom with my own bunk beds. I got a desk right there, a real set-up desk. I got my own a spoiled kid. I ain't no street nigga. I don't know the street rules.
But you was playing street though, right?
I wasn't playing street. I'm playing rebellious. I'm rebelling against mama being delinquent. I'm not being criminal. I'm being delinquent. We stealing jackets. We breaking into houses. We ain't being criminal. We being delinquent. There's a difference. We breaking bottles. We breaking in the car. We sneaking in the girl. We ain't shooting guns and killing. They ain't doing none of that.
Breaking in people's houses is criminal activity, though.
It's delinquent. It's delinquent.
It's delinquent.
Did you hand him the gun before he shot him?
You know, trying to get parties and shit.
And you told him shoot him?
Yeah, shoot that motherfucker. But I ain't mean it. I'm just talking. Yeah, I ain't mean it. Dumb up. I ain't mean it.
Is this your gun at the time?
No, we had so listen, I'm just out. So listen, so I ran away from home. My mama was being strict.
Hell, you had the luxury of running away, bitch. They kicked me out.
I had my little sister at the time. So the baby no more. Nigga, the baby of the family. So nigga just being rebellious. My brother in and out of trouble. So nigga, you gotta think. I had 9 eye surgeries from age. So washing machine. Think about this, nigga. I fell in a washing machine at age 5. I didn't learn how to walk again till almost age 8. By age 8, I put my eye out. So, nigga, from 5 to 8, I'm in and out the hospital for surgery. So, I ain't go to school. I got a private tutor.
What the fuck?
So, nigga, I'm a sheltered kid. So, at age 8, I put my eye out. So, from 8 to 12, I had 9 eye surgeries before having my eye removed. So, I ain't playing outside. I ain't playing sports. In and out the hospital. So, by the time I get into 6th grade, I get my eye removed. Now I got a prosthetic eye. But I'm still in and out going through the doctor. By the time I get to 7th grade, this is my first full year of having a prosthetic eye. No more surgeries, no more doctor's appointment. Now I finally get to be a kid. Now I'm in middle school. I don't know nothing about crime. Now we're in the 8th grade. You catch a murder case in the 8th. I don't know nothing about it. I just come out the hospital being laid up. I ain't no criminal. No motherfucking criminal. I don't know no street codes. I know what I know to do right, and I know what's wrong. I know you tell the truth, nigga. You be honest. I'm an honest kid. Hell yeah. So anybody tell you, yeah, that nigga brutally honest. Ever since he was a kid, that nigga brutally honest. Yeah, we did this. Because this is how I was raised. So the core foundation of who you are. Why do you think so many niggas tell on First 48? Why you think it's so many niggas who tell? Because the core foundation of who you are is good natured based on how our mothers and grandmothers raised us. But the culture wants you to believe we all come knowing and raised this street shit. Why you think so many snitch? Because the core foundation of how they was raised is to tell the truth.
Nah, I think when we grew up, it was not the snitch.
So when you get in
trouble, that was like the main core. I think that was like every black rule, but not snitch. Because snitch is fuck.
So here we are. We done committed a murder, broad daylight at the mall.
That's pretty crazy though.
Broad daylight during school hours. There was a girl by the name of Ursula who was at the mall at the time, her and her mom. That's how they identified us. Ursula went to school with us. So that's how we get identified. They go to the school, get the yearbooks, and then I got our pictures. I come up with a plan after the murder. I tell my partner DJ. Now DJ 15 at the time. DJ was a good kid, never been in trouble, only child. Nigga worked at Red Lobster, good played sports and fuck with hoes. Antoine Doolittle, the shooter, is a nigga from, I think they from South Dallas, Oak Cliff, some just moved, just come to the city. He had 2 brothers that were in and out of prison with a life sentence. Mama in the project, he in and out the boy at home. Really didn't fuck with girl, but he a project. His mama let him stay out all night long. So me and DJ, 2 different backgrounds from these other 2. Me and DJ go to school together. We don't really go to school with Antoine and him. We just passing each other during the summertime. So there's no real friendship. We just hanging during the summer. That's how most get in trouble. Going to go group up with some new group of friends during them summer activities. That's how they get in trouble.
I ain't asking you.
Antoine and them couldn't have came to my mama's house. Nigga, my mama never met Doolittle. I would run away from home, and that's where I would go stay because his mama let anybody come over. He can do anything. My mama would come over there looking for me. His mama say, "No, he ain't here." He couldn't come to my house. My mama didn't play. Nigga, I couldn't go. If I didn't run away from home, I couldn't go nowhere. My mama want to talk. Who take you? Let me talk to their mama. Who pick you? No, nigga, I come from structure. I come from a woman who had morals and principles and tried to instill this. I'm just rebelling at 13 during what they call an adolescent stage of life. Most children rebel. I'm rebelling against mama. She talking that God talk, trying to take us to church. She bringing more structure. The concept of tough love had just came about. Now mama talking this tough love talk. And she done had a baby. And I mean, yeah. So I'm just going through some shit. Rebelling during the adolescent stage. And
it get like that when people is tough on you. You know what I'm saying? And you
somebody lost their life. We out being delinquent.
Show you who
stealing
you really
jackets. We ain't robbing. We stealing jackets. But we took a gun. Somebody lost their life, innocent man. So, you think when they say capital murder, as a kid, your mama, your grandma, capital murder, and we done killed the white man, and we done this during the time, it was unheard of. I'm one of the first kids in Fort Worth, Texas to ever be tried and adjudicated and sentenced for the crime of murder. That's in the history books. I'm one of the first children ever to be tried and adjudicated for the crime of murder. And we killed the white man. It was unheard of.
Do you remember the day you testified?
Yeah. Because I was already locked up 2 years.
Were you persuaded to testify? Was it something that you kind of didn't want to do?
Hell no, I wanted to do it. For one, I had been in the boys' home 2 years. So I couldn't wait to come back to the city in a juvenile detention center to try some of them juvenile hoes, because we got to interact. Yeah, so I can some of them juvenile hoes, get to see Ted, all the old juvenile staff, and then who I know it. So think, I'm 16, so I get to come back to juvenile, some of my classmates, and some I know, so I'm excited to come back.
Your small business cash flow doesn't have...
Was it a thing around the city that you testified?
It was on the news. It was on every news station. It was on every major, but wasn't nobody saying, oh, he testified. Everybody kids. Everybody understand. We all would have done this. Nobody think I shouldn't have testified. We all kids.
Man, you playing in the streets, man.
Nigga, I was facing 40 years under the Texas Juvenile Determined Sentencing Law. Man, nigga ain't never even heard of that before as a kid. 40 years? What? Now, nigga, I've been coming to juvenile for the last... I went to juvenile from probably 13 to 14. I wasn't in trouble at 12. I wasn't in trouble at 11. I had one little year of rebelliousness, being resentful, going against what mama say, thinking mama don't know what she talking about because she a woman. Going to the culture, the streets, based off what's been propagated. I'm just out in the wilderness. I ain't got no business out here. Hanging with some who go to bed hungry. Hanging with some who 7 people in this 2-bedroom. Roaches. Nigga, man, ain't no roaches in my house. Man, there's people walking in and out all day. Man, I ain't know that exists. So, you thinking capital murder, 40 years. You lying to me. You go do whatever your mama and your lawyer instruct you to do. That's why these tell when the feds get them, because they lawyer tell them, hey, listen, they got evidence on you, might as well tell. You gonna do what your lawyer tell you to do. And everybody knows.
Yeah, them wasn't your lawyer.
I'm the good kid out this situation. He ain't got no business with them. Based on looking at our mamas.
No matter what, Crip.
Based on looking at our mamas, how mama dressed when she come to court, how she talk to the judge. I'm the only one would have paid for a lawyer. 2 of them. My partner DJ, they had to go, his mama then went on the radio station to try to raise some money for him. Because at this time, there was 3 skinheads who had killed the black man. So it was 3 skinheads who killed the black man, and we killed the white man, and all this was on the news, and it was being in comparison.
Damn.
So they looking at our mamas. Got Carl Mallory, one of the baddest goddamn lawyers come, what? So now I'm being presented in a whole nother light. And I'm the kid with all the mitigating factors. Yana, the kid broke his leg when he was 5 years old. Kid's been sheltered. He don't know no man. Boy been in and out the hospital, in the house having surgery. He just run, So I got all the mitigating factors. You think I ain't gonna play alone? Cause I'm playing along with these niggas. So I got 12 years because I agreed to testify. Hell yeah, I'm gonna testify. They got tried as adults. The day they got their certification hearing, and this would hurt their case the most. The day they got certified, when they was being transferred from the juvenile detention center to the county jail, they was on the news laughing. So there was a news reporter by the name of Debbie Price. And at this time, it was about 8 kids who had committed murder. So, homie, this is unknown to the world in Fort Worth. Kids commit murder. So there's a lady by the name of Debbie Price who wrote this national article that was called "Kids Who Killed with No Remorse." Nigga, I wasn't a kid identified with no remorse. They were talking about my Latin King partner, Jose Rodriguez. Nigga, he was a serial killer at the time, little Mexican. He was heartless at the time, little wild motherfucker. But all throughout my psychological evaluations and meeting with psychiatrists, I'm the kid with remorse. I'm the most salvageable. He can be saved. Look at what kind of background he come from. Those are the determining factors. So when they look at them, that nigga got 75 years. And they got 75 years. DJ, he got out on bond, moved to Oklahoma, and he was killed in a high-speed chase running from the police. The oldest guy, Antoine, I think in the beginning he got 99, went back on appeal, maybe did 20, but we the only 2 out.
So Antoine Doolittle's out?
No, Antoine Jenkins is out. Doolittle's still locked up.
So how true is it that, because I seen this shit on WAC 100 YouTube page or whatever, how true is it that every time a parole bond hearing comes up, you come up there and tell them no, you still fear for your life?
Why would I be fearing for my life? Listen, homie, the Texas Department of Parole Division don't give a damn about your co-actors or co-defendants coming to say something. They care about what your victims say. We had a very forgiving victim family. Nigga, I got to meet my victim family. Very loving, forgiving family. They forgave us. They not protesting his release. You think I'm going back 30 years ago, my nigga? 30 years? You talking about 1991. Nigga, I don't even know when he come up for parole. You think I'm keeping up with that nigga parole date?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Most definitely. After the person I know the type of person you is.
He called me about 2-3 years ago.
How'd it go?
Man, we been taught. Nigga want to be friend. Nigga break after them years. He wish he would have told. Because when you kill somebody and you don't tell the reason why you did it, you don't give, they think you heartless. Oh, you don't want to talk to the police. You heartless. So they're gonna sentence you accordingly. Because the police got the ball at the beginning of the case. And what they write and jot down based off their perception is passed on to the district attorney's office. The district attorney's office goes soup up what the police done put on you. So this got a lengthy juvenile record. So he's the most likely candidate that we punish more severely. He's already showing the signs of a career criminal. Me and DJ ain't got no signs of a career criminal. Big Twan and Lil Twan do. Based off the family environment and structure that they come from and where they live. So my lawyer give me a 12-year sentence. And if I wouldn't have talked to the police, I got probation. But because I talked to them, so when the police get a bunch of, they've been doing an investigation, they get a bunch of, homie, they profile each nigga. Which one you think is more likely to talk? That good kid right there. So they come get me. So hell yeah, I told him. So when we go to trial, 12 years out of a 40-year sentence in the juvenile system, I can get out at 18. I come back to court at 18. At 21, my record's sealed. There's no history of this.
Damn,
can't nobody pull my background up and say, hey man, this nigga been charged with murder before. There's no history. It's sealed. Based on Texas juvenile law. It's like it never happened.
That's crazy.
On the other hand, one prison did about 20 years, come home, the other nigga didn't talk to the police, Still in that mother. Boy, I bet he wish he, boy, that broke down crying to me. Ask me, man. And just think, I've been working on laws and legislation. I've been working on, I help niggas. I never thought to go get that help him, not one time. And he done reached out to me, begging and pleading. Some more home, man, that my homeboy, nigga. But my mom, that was my homeboy, nigga. My mom don't even know that. Most of my real childhood friends never got in trouble. Kind of like you, yeah. So most of my childhood friends are like you and your group. I'm the only one got in trouble, homie.
Yeah.
We all, nigga, I'm the only one got in trouble hanging with these. We all live in the houses over here. These live in the apartment. We all go to elementary school together. I meet these middle school, and based on the delinquency of our behavior, I gravitate more to these niggas. Y'all playing football, y'all playing basketball. I'm gravitating more to these. But we all, you see what I'm saying? So, nah, homie,
Alright, gang, so we're going to finish up this video.
That was the lesson to learn. So that's why I teach young nigga, nah, homie, you hanging with look where you come from and look at them from. He do.
Alright, back. So y'all see from that bitch, man, Charleston White, man, he trying to make up a good theory. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I grew up like this. I grew up like that. Yes, I can say it does depends on where you do grow up. You know what I'm saying? Some people are really, if something happened, 12, call. You know what I'm saying? But if something don't happen, and then you got a big stand where don't call 12 at all. You call them niggas you cook. You know what I'm saying? I came from an era you don't call at all. Did people follow that rule? Not most likely not. But you know what I'm saying? Growing up where I grew up, we knew that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, Charleston White, you know, I guess they came to a situation, man, white people be acting weird. You know what I'm saying? They want to act like they're the victims when shit happens. But when something happens to us, they still the victims. You know what I'm saying? But, so, he on live 4K snitching. People call him out for it, you know what I'm saying? His own friends. You know what I'm saying? This must have been really big back in the day because people talking about a lot. That's like I said, man, you can't do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You know what I'm saying? Don't hang around people. If you know it's about to get dangerous, about to get crazy, anything can happen. Y'all rolling around with a gun, anything can happen. You gotta understand that shit. At that moment, if somebody gets shot or unalive, they up and stuck. You get what I'm saying? So you can't keep on using, oh, I grew up like this or grew up like that, because anybody know anything. If you get caught, do not say nothing. If you do say something that's snitching, anything can happen. But yeah, so this was what happened, and we got the videos. Shout out to the people. Hey, free the niggas, man. We out this bitch hood, Northside, big crip, gang, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.